What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 167th edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, aka the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
AKA the Little Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J train.
Perfect.
I do not have my co-host, Cousin BigThad. Something came up. Maybe he'll be able to join us a little bit later, but it will be me. And I'm used to doing this. I've done this for a while, podcasting, and I did it solo for a little bit. So it will be me today. We have a lot to get into. Just want to there's a lot to get into. We have the Olympic Games. We have news from the NBA. The NBA season literally just ended, but we have a lot going on. NBA draft tonight, but there's been several trades or trade agreements that have occurred. We're also going to get into the NFL. Also going to talk about the mass exodus from the Big XII, from the University of Texas and Oklahoma. DaBaby and his highly inflammatory comments at Rolling Loud over the weekend. And throughout the show, we will be discussing the NBA draft, which is occurring, which will actually start in about 28 minutes on ESPN and ABC. So we will discuss what is happening in the NBA draft. And I must admit, this was the first year that I did not watch any college basketball. So for me, I'm going to feel like a casual fan. I'm going to learn about a lot of these players through the draft coverage and throughout the off season and into the rookie year. I'm gonna learn about these guys. We're also going to talk about the big story coming out of the Summer Olympic Games: Simone Biles stepping down from competition. We will get into that. Just want to remind you to subscribe to the podcast where podcasts are available, and that includes Anchor, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. You can also watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch if you're doing that right now. Let us know if you're watching on the live stream. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and definitely chime in to any of the topics that we get into for this week's episode. Let's now start off, though, with the Summer Olympic Games. Here's the medal count right now in Tokyo. Leading in the medal count is the United States of America with 38 total medals. Then China's second. And then the ROC. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. When I saw the ROC, I was like, who is the ROC? Is this a new country that I never knew about? And somehow they have a great athletic committee. Well, it's actually the Russian Olympic Committee. Russia is being sanctioned for doping violations. So the athletes, they didn't want to punish the other athletes that weren't involved. So they said, hey, you can compete under the Russian Olympic Committee, but one of the penalties is Russia and their leaders cannot be part of the Olympics. So it's the Russian Olympic Committee. They're in third, excuse me. So United States with 38 total medals, China with 31 total medals, and Russia with 28 total medals. Japan has 25 total medals, so they come in fourth. But when it comes to gold, the number one is China and Japan tied at 15, and the United States at 14 tied for third. That would be third. And then Russia, or the ROC, with 8. And we have a lot of big events still to go on. We have basketball that's going on, men's and women's basketball. We also have track and field. And we know the Olympics is really track and field people want to see. so that is the one event that everyone really wants to see. We will get into that. Let's start though with Simone Biles. Simone Biles was competing in the team competition for the United States, and she has been. Let me say this: even with the qualifying, she has been struggling a little, and it's it's kind of odd saying that now. Looking back, we could definitely look back and see that maybe she was struggling a little. Well, there was an incident at the Summer Games several days ago where she was doing a vault exercise, or one of the routines off the gymnastic floor. She then came back out in a few minutes and told her team that, hey, I cannot get this done for you all. I'm gonna have to back out. Later, at the end of the event, Simone Biles spoke, and she said that, hey, mentally, I'm not here right now. Mentally, things are not going well with me, and it's affecting my play. And now the casual fans are hearing about a term called the Twisties. And the Twisties, if you are familiar with baseball, is kind of like the yips, where a pitcher or a fielder can no longer throw accurately to their target. We saw it with Rick Ankiel, who was pitching. Very good prospect. Was playing well, and all of a sudden, one game, he just couldn't find the plate. He hit a few batters, wild pitches, and then from then, it was downhill, and he could not do it anymore, to the point that he actually was out of Major League Baseball, went back to the minors, actually had to change positions, ultimately changed position to an outfielder position, worked on his craft, and came back to the majors and had an okay career in the majors, but he had the yips. We have Chuck Knobloch, who played for the Yankees and several other teams in Major League Baseball. He had the yips. He was playing second base and couldn't get the ball to first base accurately. There were times where if the ball was hit to him, it really wasn't sure if he was going to actually get that ball to first base. Well, the Twisties are similar in gymnastics, where the gymnasts, while they're doing their routines, either on the vault, the balance beam, floor exercises, they have other events in gymnastics. Totally shows how well I know the sport. It's a side note. The Olympics is really a time for casual viewers to catch up on sports that they don't look at. And when it comes to gymnastics, I am a casual viewer, just like many of us in the United States. So when it comes to the Twisties, it's a feeling that when the gymnast is doing their routine, that they lose track of their location, lose track of where they are. Kinda, some people equate it to vertigo, where you might be standing up and all of a sudden you feel like you're falling, but you're not actually falling. Or your whole orientation is all screwed up. Well, that is what the Twisties is for a gymnast. And Simone Biles came out and said, yes, I'm dealing with this right now, and it's due to the overwhelming stress of all sorts of things. She went to her team, told them what's going on. The rest of the young ladies had her back, and I support them for her. I support them for doing that for her. They had her back, and not only that, they stepped up to the occasion, and they came in second. Now, you're going to sit here and say, well, they came in second. How did they step up to the occasion? Simone Biles is the greatest gymnast of all time. That's it. She is the GOAT. The things that she's doing in gymnastics is something we have never seen in the sport. Also, her complete domination. This is now her second Olympics, I believe. She already has, in her entire career, 27 first place finishes in about 6 to 8 years. Let's say it's even 8 years. You're talking about over three finishes per year where she's ending in first place. She has numerous first place medals. She is even doing routines that the judges are having to tell her, hey, we're not even allowing you to do these routines, because if you do these routines, it will be an automatic win for you. It is not fair for the rest of the gymnasts. Like that is what's happening with Simone Biles, to the point that she has to readjust. She has to dumb it down for the rest of the competition. Not only that, Simone Biles is the face for, unfortunately, something that has tarnished the U.S. gymnastic circle. Larry Nassar was a former doctor, trainer for USA Gymnastics, and also I believe it was Michigan State, but for sure it was USA Gymnastics. And he sexually abused many gymnasts that came with it under the USA Gymnastic and Michigan State, I believe, gymnastics. And Simone Biles, during his trial, during his sentencing, and also during events to advocate for help and to advocate to push for tougher laws against sexual abusers, she was the face. She was the most popular person to unfortunately deal with these things at the hands of Larry Nassar. She was dealing with that. Obviously, on top of the world when it comes to gymnastics comes with several pressures of trying to be the best. Also, let's be real, COVID-19, the pandemic is still going on. This Olympic Games was supposed to be last year. It is happening now. It is happening a year later when everyone thought things would be a lot better. And in some instances it is, because there's a vaccine right now. But there's the Delta variant, which you can still be infected even if you're vaccinated. We'll talk about that a little bit later in our sports free zone. But we're seeing a rise in cases, and more importantly, these athletes are having to deal with that, having to train, having to compete in a suboptimum situation. They're also having to compete, and especially for, yes, every country's dealing with this, but any country that's in the Western Hemisphere that has to go to Japan, that had to fly long distance to get there, had to go there without family and friends, when normally that is one of the great things about the Olympics. Your family and friends can be there to support you during this trying time. And yes, Simone Biles is the greatest gymnast of all time. However, the greats still go through the situations. They have mental breakdowns. They have situations where they really want to throw in the towel. And honestly, in certain situations, throwing in the towel is not a bad thing. Throwing the towel is not weak. Throwing the towel is actually the right thing. And when we specifically look at the Twisties, like I spoke about earlier, if a gymnast is dealing with this, they can seriously injure themselves. This is not like the yips in baseball where, okay, yeah, I'm going to have some errors. Yeah, I'm going to throw it all over the place, but my arm and my elbow, it's going to be fine. With the Twisties, gymnasts can literally injure any part of their body. There have been gymnasts that have hurt their knees, their backs, their necks. There's the potential for paralysis if you land wrong. And it's really interesting. People mention it. These gymnasts make the sport look so easy, but when you look at the balance beam, it's literally 4 inches. 4 inches. And I know I have a size 11. There's no way I can do the things that they do on a 4-inch balance beam. I can barely walk probably against a balance beam with the size of my feet. Even the sidewalk, people who walk on the sidewalk, on the curb, it's like they're tight-roping. And these young men and women who are gymnasts are doing death-defying exercises as competition, as sport, as entertainment for people. And I love it. I love what they can do. I commend what they do. Simone Biles, I believe, made the right decision stepping down. Not only that, she stepped down early enough that allowed Team USA to make the adjustments to play, to put the right gymnasts in the right event, to allow them to keep pace and to end in second and get silver. There was a big chance that they could have flopped and not got a medal, especially if Simone Biles came out and at least finished the team event. It could have been catastrophic for Simone Biles. It could have been catastrophic for Team USA. And everyone would say, hey, Team USA choked. Simone Biles isn't the GOAT because she came up short in such a big moment. That could have happened. But Simone Biles stepped up to the occasion and was honest and said, hey, I can't do it. Now, I want to speak to the men and women, and honestly, specifically men, who are sitting here talking about Simone Biles and her quitting, and are saying it in a negative fashion, saying she is a quitter, and how can you not finish the event? How can you say you are the GOAT and then you leave your team stranded? I want to speak to these men. First of all, at the end of the day, Simone Biles, nor does any athlete owe us anything when their mental health is on the line. They do not owe us anything. I know it sounds weird saying that now in 2021 because we're used to literally centuries where you can't leave your team stranded. You can't, you have to finish it. And there are men out there who are saying that when she finally had an obstacle, she just quit. And I'm highly disappointed in these men. Highly disappointed. And I'm going to be real honest. I was on Clubhouse yesterday. And this might be the very first time that I actually got upset about something said on Clubhouse. Because honestly, I go on Clubhouse just for fun, just to meet people, connect with people, especially with stuff that we're doing with the podcast, talk about sports in, a very, laid back situation. But I really got upset with some of the stuff I was hearing. I was hearing that, what is it that stopped you? Like you flew all the way to Japan. What is it now that stopped you from competing? Oh, was it because you finally had some adversity that you now feel like, oh, now I'm giving up? I even had some people who don't even watch gymnastics on a regular sitting here talking about, well, there's no way she could be the GOAT after this situation. And I had to step up and say, look, listen here. Just last year, we had Paul George in the bubble talk about his mental health and how it was hard for him to focus while he was in the bubble. Mind you, he was in a bubble where he actually didn't have to really deal with COVID-19. But unfortunately, there were other things that were important to him. Family, friends, his mental well-being, that affected his play. Other players came out after and said, yes, it was real tough playing in there. And that the moment they had a chance to leave, they left. We even had, I'm gonna go back in history. And let's talk about LaDainian Tomlinson. AFC Championship game in Foxborough. He had an ACL injury the week before, but he toughed it out like every really good football player would. He came out on the first drive, had a couple carries, And then after that game, after that series, he was like, I'm done. In that same game, Phillip Rivers had a knee injury from the week before. Phillip Rivers, as the quarterback, toughed it out. And LaDainian Tomlinson got criticized for that. He said that he was not, people said that he was not tough enough because he didn't play on a torn ACL as a running back. Fast forward now. Last night I'm in this clubhouse room and you have people talking about, man, he actually did the right thing by not playing on that knee. But for some reason, Simone Biles did the incorrect thing when she couldn't do it. I'm going to bring back another athlete. And this one, everyone knows. Everyone knows this situation. Michael Jordan, after winning his third title in a row, he said he was mentally drained. Mentally drained from all the years of playing basketball, the years of losing in the postseason to the Boston Celtics and then the Detroit Pistons. And then now he finally is winning, but he's mentally drained. 3 times he's won. And he's mentally drained. And he was already contemplating this in the locker room. Because if you look at the Last Dance documentary, which aired last year, within those clips while he's sitting in the locker room, while his teammates are pouring champagne, he's in the corner with his father, and they are already contemplating his retirement. And then unfortunately the horrific news, his father gets killed in a carjacking, and then ultimately Michael Jordan says, hey, I need to take a step away from the game of basketball and do something that actually eases my mind. That's when he decided to play baseball. Those are instances where we've seen people's mental health, where athletes needed to take a break for what they're doing. Simone Biles did the best thing for her, and we should not be judging her. We should not be condemning her. We should not be questioning her abilities to compete. And I think it's very selfish of us to sit here and say, oh, she didn't finish, so she's a loser. She's a quitter. Very unselfish of us to do that. Let's welcome to the show Cousin BigThad, a.k.a.
The best sleep I've gotten in like 3 weeks. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all.
Perfect.
I ain't lying at all, yo.
I assumed you were sleeping because you responded around 4 o'clock. And then I was just like, yeah, he must really be sleeping. I was like,
bruh. No,
I know you've been busy.
Man.
And guess what? It's raining right now. It's dark outside already.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that's what it was.
Bruh, look, I was watching Ozark, you know what I'm saying? I decided to start watching Ozark again, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just, I guess I was tired and I needed a nap, you know what I'm saying? So I woke up and I looked at my phone and I was like, it's still kind of light outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right? 5:30. I get ready for the show, and I'm like, why did Jerry call me? And then I looked at the time. I actually looked at the time on my phone. I'm like, oh man, yeah.
It's all good, man. I held it down.
Good. Of course.
Just real quick, is everything going well with you?
Yeah, man, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Everything's busy. Work's been real busy, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's been real crazy busy. Doing some good things, you know what I'm saying? And seeing some of my results come to fruition so far. So I had a big congressional thing happen today. So definitely it was pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And I'm excited for this impending infrastructure bill. And stuff like that. But it's weird that I even pay attention to that stuff now. But it's so weird. It's so weird.
So Big Thad, we're talking about Simone Biles. What are your thoughts on her situation, her stepping down from competition, not only from team competition, from the individual competition?
Look, she has had issues for years, like regardless of how you want to say it. But she has won 24 gold medals, having various issues going on at the time with her. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's broken bones.
I forgot to talk about that.
Broken bones. She had like some other issues. She's also had some mental issues prior. But, she went it through. But when you think about these athletes, especially on this stage of the Olympics, you're there for your country. You're there to compete against other countries. But guess what gets you through everything is the fans in the stands.
Perfect.
They're playing in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally are playing in a bubble. And the thing is, that fan atmosphere, regardless of however you want to say it, athletes, it doesn't matter what type of sport it is. It doesn't even have to be a sport. It could be a spelling bee. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Fans in the stands help you, regardless of whatever you are doing. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it, man. Like, if there was fans there, she could probably power through. You know what I'm saying? Really power through it. And I'm sure she has over the years, and other athletes have over the years. But a lot of that has to do with the fans in the stands, man. And that's what it is. But seeing people out here, just complain, it's really sad. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really sad because, like, I want to answer the posts on Facebook and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm grown. I know I'm gonna say the wrong thing, and it's not gonna be good. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave it alone, man. This is one thing.
I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing if this was me 10 years ago. Oh yeah, I'd just go off and just say whatever random wild stuff I usually do. Come to think about it, when I see these Facebook memories, wow, bro. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing, but just seeing some of the comments, people sharing other posts about how we're celebrating someone who quit or someone who just quit on her team. And I'm like, yo, a lot of you, and I know a lot of you that are posting this joint, a lot of you wouldn't make it through a hangnail, whatever. Is that a hangnail?
Yeah.
Yeah, a hangnail. You know what I'm saying? A hangnail will keep you out of competition real quickly. You know what I'm saying? Or like, mental issues are a real thing. And like, we've never dealt with stuff like this for years. We always just brush it to the side. But you know what? Like, a lot of these things, you like, oh, I can't believe this person killed themselves. You know what I'm saying? Committed suicide, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the stuff is mental issues. Can't believe Johnny shot all these people, blah, blah, blah. Mental issues most of the time is what it is. No, he's not this type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He never would do something like this. Mental issues, folks. It happens. Mental issues deal with everything in our lives, y'all, regardless of how you want to say it. And y'all need to just stop. Just stop and really think things through before y'all start saying off the cuff things. You know what I'm saying?
And I said it before you came on. Like, yesterday was the first time where I really got highly annoyed, upset with what was said on Clubhouse. And it was mostly men, mostly black men. There was a room where well, is this a double standard that we're celebrating Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles and even Sakari Richardson to an extent where they speak about their mental health and why they did the things that they did, like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka stepping down from competition to deal with what they had to deal with, and Sha'Carri Richardson owning up to her unfortunate positive drug test due to marijuana. But then we criticize, the male athletes that mentioned that things were not going well with them, and we criticized them. They even had one, I remember one situation last year. It was Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless said that Dak Prescott was weak for admitting on national television that he was depressed because his brother committed suicide.
Right. And that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. You telling me I can't react when my own brother passed away? Are you serious, yo?
Yeah.
Are we at that point where we're like, oh, men shouldn't have feelings or emotions still? You know what I'm saying?
We're still there.
Are we still at that point where, you know what I'm saying?
We're still there.
It is like it's a bad issue if a man cries. You know what I'm saying? Is that still a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like you getting married. You know what I'm saying? You get married. Your future. You haven't done your I do's yet. You know what I'm saying? And your wife comes down the aisle, and you have a lot of emotion, and you tear up, you cry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I didn't do it, but
no, right. No, you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do it. But if you did, the thing is, if you did, all of us that were up there with you will understand. You know what I'm saying? As much as we try to not have emotions and, all that, try to be manly and whatnot, trust me, there's certain things in life we totally understand. You know what I'm saying? It's like you having your son. You know what I'm saying? If you cried, we understand. You know what I'm saying? We just need to stop acting like men don't have emotions. And emotions are all mental. You know what I'm saying? All mental. You know what I'm saying? So you could say if you love someone and you have this love for this person, blah, 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 that's a mental issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, yo? Like, really, what are we doing? We already know. We see football players every day, and, like this football player does this or whatever, and we always equate it to CTE. You know what I'm saying? We always equate it to that.
That's always the fallback.
Always the main thing. Always. Oh yeah, he's just acting weird. CTE. Maybe he just has a mental issue. You know what I'm saying? Stop. We just need to get past all this stuff. Like, act like mental issues don't happen, because the first thing people think of mental issues, oh, they're crazy. You know what I mean? So, nah, bro. They need to get off Simone. Like, if this was they keep comparing Carrie Strug and stuff like that. And I'm like,
goodness.
Why do y'all do this?
and for the record,
is it because, like, real talk, and you know me, I hate playing the race card. I hate it. I really hate playing the race card. But is this because she's black, yo?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Is it
this
really
is what it is?
Naomi
like they were
Osaka.
waiting for a moment. Waiting for that moment, and it's now 8 years later. Like, we finally got it. Like, she's finally not the GOAT because she quit. Because she had this thing called the Twisties. This was it. Was it. And Carrie Strug, you mentioned Carrie Strug. Yes, she sprained her ankle. Looking back, the coaches even said that was the worst decision for us to amp her up to try and do it again.
Right.
They said that in interviews. That was the worst thing that we could have done as coaches, was to make her go out there, make it feel like if she didn't go out there, we would lose.
Right.
And that's if something tragic had happened, they would have to live with that. Like,
Look,
but because it happened in '96 in Atlanta, everyone thinks that Simone Biles should have been able to do that too. Like, come on.
Yeah, the thing is, they know the fact that Simone Biles is the best gymnast in the world. They know this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. They know this, but it also shows that the rest of Team USA ain't that good.
Well,
you know
I wouldn't say that.
No, I mean,
they're pretty good
look. They got a silver.
They
got silver. But we're supposed to be in the top 3 in the world. We're supposed to be, gymnast-wise, history-wise. We're in the top 3. It's literally us, China, and Russia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're supposed to be there already. But everybody knows Simone Biles is the best in the world. They literally had to tell her that she can't do certain tricks because nobody else could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if she did do it, they would not give the right amount of points for those things she did. That's how good she is. So mind you, folks, she already going into the Olympics like, I know I could beat everybody. I know people can't do these things, but guess what? They're holding it against me, so now they're not going to give me the points that I deserve that would ultimately win without a doubt. So now she already has that on her heart, like, yo, anything else she does, they would just, you know what I'm saying? They would just, it would be no good. Like, why would you do it? Like, she already going into it that way that, yo, they're against me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so good. It hurts to be the GOAT in gymnastics, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That's like Tom. Look, if Tom Brady quit a game, what if Tom Brady quit the Super Bowl, yo? Went to the Super Bowl, was like, yo, I can't play. You know what I'm saying? I had mental issues. Are we gonna have the same reaction? Well,
no,
are they going to give him the same reaction?
They are going to say, well, he's already won. You know, he won 6 before? Well, he already won 6. You know, it would have been. I mean, that's what it would have been.
I can't, bro.
I do want to bring this back to the perceived double standard of how we as sports fans celebrate women athletes who are putting their mental health above everything and then criticizing the men. You know why there's a double standard? Because we still have men who still feel like it is weak to deal with mental health. So that's why it's not the actual act. It's we still have men who still believe this. So they're the ones who are perpetuating this issue. So yeah, man. I didn't think we were going to be this long with Simone Biles, but here we are.
It's a good topic, man.
It is a good topic.
It is
much necessary that we, much needed that we deal with this. Let's stick with the Olympics though. Team USA basketball, the women's, they won their first match against Nigeria. That got them to 50 consecutive Olympic wins. So yes, and they should be facing I believe, who are they facing tonight? I can't remember who their next opponent is. Let's now get to the men's team.
You already know what I'm going to say about these Bamas.
Oh, my goodness. The men's team, they were facing France in game 1. They allowed France to go on a 14-2 run to end the game, and had a situation where in the last minute had numerous offensive rebounds to try and tie or win the game, and kept on shooting threes and bricking every single one of them. One of those plays, Bam Adebayo just missed a layup, which would have tied the game.
Yeah.
After the game, you had players like Evan Fournier who said, yeah, man, they're great talent individually, but as a team, they're not a good team. And let's remember, France was the team that defeated Team USA in the 2019 World Championships.
Right.
That got them out, the knockouts that knocked them out. And then ultimately, I believe Team USA then lost to somebody else to get them in whatever. I think they ended up in 6th or something in that. But regardless, nowhere near a medal. They came out and said, yeah, they're not a good team. Then there was reports that players were not cool with the offense that Popovich is running, and that is the quote-unquote the Spurs offense, which is not good for these players. Kevin Durant was, bitching and moaning all through like the opening ceremony because they sang happy birthday to him when it wasn't his birthday. He was, confused. He was I didn't get the video this time, but I mentioned last week how he was at shoot around and Bam Adebayo took his basketball and he was like, I should have got that, and he just really threw a fit.
It's like, I made it. I'm supposed to get it back. Like,
yeah,
come on,
Brittany
bro.
Griner gives him a kiss on the cheek at opening ceremony, and he's just kind of like looking at her like what are you doing?
Right. That's...
And then
thank God I love you.
yeah, and then you have all of that going on. And honestly, this is me looking from the outside. I don't think this team, and it could be look, I even spoke about it on Twitter. It's various things, various factors. It's a pandemic still. So they're dealing with playing in an environment where family and friends would normally be. They're not there. They just came off. Most of these guys have been playing basketball from
December,
August of last year. Some of them went on to October of last year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Then started back up in December.
Yeah.
And we have 3 guys who literally played basketball last week on this team.
Right.
In the NBA Finals. I can understand you just being mentally drained. I can also understand, like I said, it's a bubble. You're not doing the same activities. But I don't feel like these guys actually like being around each other. I feel like they're just there. They're trying to win. I do believe they're trying to win. But they don't really like being around each other. Because in the past, we were seeing videos of these guys joking around, these guys playing pranks on each other, these guys that shoot around, like doing all sorts of stuff. We even got to the point that we then found out that the Olympics was how Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and LeBron came up with the idea of playing together.
Right.
We got all of that.
So
we haven't seen that yet.
Basically, what you're saying that KD is the downfall of this team.
I'm not gonna say
because he just don't get along with folks.
I'm not gonna say it's KD.
That's
not gonna say it's KD.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't think all of them seem to really be getting along with each other.
No, you're right. I think it's just a poorly constructed team altogether.
That too.
It's really poorly constructed. Like, I understand these are not the best players in the world. Well, the best players in the NBA that we have to offer. We understand that. We know that. But because you know me, I said it from the jump. I think the team's trash. From the jump. As soon as they started announcing players, I said this team is trash. Just from, and and I know people would be like, that. What are you talking about? They have KD. They have Bama-ass Draymond Green. Players like that. Yes, I understand. They're all good players. They're nowhere near our best players, for one. Nowhere near our best players. But they're not a team. You could tell in all the other Team USA's that there was a team aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like they were constructed away because as a team, you know what I'm saying? You had your guards, you had your forwards and your centers, you know what I'm saying? And it was a team aspect, you know what I'm saying? Granted, the dream team, if you think of them, you know what I'm saying? They were still, even when you looked at that team, yeah, you understood that Michael Jordan was there. And you literally had the best players in the NBA. A lot of them who were at the end of their careers. You know what I'm saying? But that was a constructed team. You know what I'm saying? You knew, and you think about it, like Charles Barkley was literally the best player on that team. That
he came off the bench.
Off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
His goal was to just go and score. Hey, this is your role.
Right. Who would have thought that? You know what I'm saying? But like when you think about the previous years of Melo,
he was
being
that
the top scorer. He was that guy. We don't have that with this team by any means. You cannot go through from top to bottom and be like, I'm gonna use this rotation because I know they're gonna play a certain way, blah blah blah. I don't see this at all with this team. I couldn't even put a lineup together with this team because I don't see any kind of just organization or system with this team. I can't pick a 5 on this team to be like, yo, this is my starting 5. And I know I could play them a good 10, 15 solid minutes from jump, and then I could bring in this 6th person to substitute and keep going. You know what I'm saying? I can't see this with this team by any means, yo. I can't.
Yeah, man. But hey, they bounced back with a win against Iran.
Come on, bro.
50.
That's a bounce back?
I mean, look.
Is that a bounce back?
It is a bounce back because you know what? They could have stunk it up again. That was an option.
They literally beat the team that they're supposed to beat far.
That was another option. They could have lost, or it could have been a close game.
Yo,
and I believe there was one guy who played in the NBA. He's older though, but he did play in the NBA for a couple years, for a few years in the NBA. But yeah, man, they could have easily lost that one, honestly, especially the way things were going with what the reports were coming out of the Team USA basketball camp, that they weren't getting along with Popovich, and that could have been the, hey, let's just try and get out of here, man.
You know, see, that's the thing. Like, you know, Popovich is a system coach. But his system works. It's like Phil Jackson. His system works if you get along with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like it. I think that's the difference between these players now. Well, especially with this team, they're so much of an individual. Like, they don't know how to work in the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they really don't. They just don't, yo. But what did I tell you? Iran was basically like.
Yeah, don't disrespect me, dog.
What was it?
You said something disrespectful.
Was that they were like the
you said something very, very, very disrespectful with your comparison.
It was like the TAJV team.
Yeah.
Stop playing with my name.
You say how it's like TAJV and St. Jerome's could have beat them.
St. Jerome's 8th grade team. Yeah. That makes sense.
That's false, by the way.
That makes perfect sense. So, yeah.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Yeah,
I mean that doesn't no.
That works. That works very well.
Just for that, I should schedule a game.
Look, considering, I know the talent that came out of St. Jerome.
I know the talent that came out of there too.
Came out like very well. Like even talent now. Yeah, I think they beat TA. They might even beat TA varsity easily.
Stop playing with my name.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna say it.
Look, TA about to beat y'all. They're about to beat Matha in like a year or two. This pandemic really messed things up. We gonna beat it.
I don't know, man.
Tacoma Academy on the rise.
I'm waiting to see what happens myself, bro. I'm waiting to see, man.
Oh my goodness. Let's now get to the NBA. There's been a trade that has occurred in the NBA. It was between the Grizzlies and the Pelicans. That trade was Jonas Valanciunas from the Grizzlies going to the Pelicans. The Grizzlies will then receive Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and several draft picks. Big Thad, you're probably looking at your phone right now from what you saw, some of the text messages you saw. But before we get to that, there is some.
I'm reading notifications right now.
There is some breaking news.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
The Detroit Pistons, they have selected number 1 overall Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. And then the Houston Rockets selected Jalen Green, who played on the G League Ignite team. And then Evan Mosley went 3rd, center out of USC, to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And on the clock right now is the Toronto Raptors. But there's some other breaking news.
Press it again. That's right.
The Washington Wizards are trading Russell Westbrook to the Lakers in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and tonight's draft pick, first-round draft pick, and then maybe some other compensation. Woj literally made it official about a minute ago, but it was rumblings over an hour ago, and I had texted you, and that's when I kind of knew you might have been sleeping because you didn't even respond. I kind of was like, I need a vent about this. I already have the hashtag fire Tommy Shepard going. I already got it going on Facebook.
Look. If they do this trade, that means that Beal's gone.
And see, that's my issue. We said this last week when we spoke about Wes Unseld Jr. We finally got a coach that we think can be decent for this team.
Right.
We have 2 perennial All-Stars, 1 perennial All-NBA, and another is borderline All-NBA depending on the season.
Right.
And Bradley Beal being the perennial All-NBA player, and Russell Westbrook being the fringe because of just other point guards in the league.
Right.
Mr. Triple-Double himself. This team was in 14th place in the East at one point in the season last year.
Right.
Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal brought this group to the 8th seed.
Yeah.
And played Philly competitively. Unfortunately lost in 5 games. They were dealing with a coach in Scott Brooks who I don't think can really coach superstars. I think he can develop talent if it's in a rebuild to get them to the next level, but he is not the coach to win you a title. We finally got a coach, and we were told that Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal were cool with the selection and that they wanted to be held accountable by a coach because they didn't think Scott Brooks can do it. And a week and a half later, we already shipping Russell Westbrook out of here to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And we don't get LeBron or Anthony Davis. Yes, I said that. We don't get LeBron or Anthony Davis. So once again, we help a team potentially win a title.
Yeah.
Once again, the Lakers are getting a piece that puts them as a true contender. They got a piece that ultimately ended up being Magic Johnson. They got a piece that ultimately ended up being James Worthy.
Yeah.
They got a trade that got them Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
They got a trade that got Pau Gasol when they only gave up Kwame Brown, Javaris Crimson, and the rights to Mark Gasol.
Right.
They got a trade where they got Anthony Davis in exchange for the young core that they had. And Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart, and some draft picks. And the Lakers were still able to keep Kyle Kuzma. They win a title.
Right.
I do not want to hear Lakers fans ever say this out of their mouth. The next time I'm in the presence of a Lakers fan that complains about the failed Chris Paul trade, I will choke them on the spot. Because here they are getting another
Chris Paul trade
to help them.
It's another Chris Paul trade that just went through. You know what I'm saying?
So here we are. The Lakers get back Kyle Kuzma, KP, Montrezl Harrell. Look, I think Kyle Kuzma can be a good NBA player. I think he could. I honestly he's in. His role is just with the leader. Hopefully, he's going to have a defined role with this team. Montrezl Harrell, okay. He should be a help to this team.
Oh yeah, by far.
KCP, why are we getting KCP?
I have no idea.
I don't want KCP. Mind you, I'm not big on this dude, Talen Horton Tucker, because every Laker fan keeps on telling me Talen Horton Tucker is the future. I've even had Laker fans even say Talen Horton Tucker is the next Kobe Bryant, like he's that good, because he's young and he's raw, but he has the talent of Kobe Bryant. Yes, I've heard that before. Mm-hmm. We didn't even get him.
That 40-year-old dude that they brought up from the G League is he had some spurts of Kobe Bryant in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
We didn't even get him. Yes, we got some draft picks. Look, according to Woj, Beal is still... They're saying that Beal... This was done to make room for another free agent to come next year to come with Beal, or possibly this year for Beal, because free agency is on Monday. So Beal can possibly remain on this team, but I don't know if Bradley Beal is playing with this team. I really don't, because honestly, him and Russell had a thing going on.
They really had a thing going on, and yeah, I don't understand it. I'm thinking if you do this, Beal's gone, and
unfortunately, I think that's what it is.
I think it's Bill to Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Bill to Golden.
Here we go, about to help another team. They don't really need help. Yeah. Are we getting Klay Thompson?
Off injury, Klay Thompson?
Are we getting Klay Thompson?
It's not happening. That can't happen.
Well, then why are we making the trade with them?
I mean, I don't know. Draft picks?
I want Klay Thompson and James Wiseman.
You know what I'm saying? And the 2 draft picks that they have.
And some draft picks.
Yeah, the 2 draft picks they have this year. The 2 first-round draft picks. Yeah, let's take that, Klay and Wiseman.
If we're not getting Klay, I don't really know. Wiseman, maybe. I mean, either way, I want Wiseman. But here's the thing: we're here helping another team that kind of already had pieces that could have been a contender, and we're helping them while we're dealing with this. Look, now that Russ is going to be gone, look,
we definitely take a step back. It might be like 2 or 3 steps back right now.
I don't know how healthy Denny Avdia is. I know when he broke his leg this season, it looked very serious when it happened. But when they reevaluated, they say, look, the break wasn't as bad as we thought. If he's ready for the season, I honestly want him to be the starting point guard, because that's what he did in Israel. He was a point guard. Right. And I hope he's a point guard. He's 6'9", solid. You know, but hey, I'm fed up with the Wizards right now, especially Tommy Shepard. This feels like Ernie Grunfeld again, honestly.
Big facts.
This feels like Ernie Grunfeld.
He might be Ernie Grunfeld 2.0.
I mean,
he did. He was there.
He was
for a long
with them
time
for a lot of it.
Yeah,
man, and that's the frustrating part with all of this. That we're here helping another team. Yeah. Helping another team basically get success. Now, look, with this, I do believe that the Lakers, as of today, are the favorite in the West.
I think they're the favorite in the West just off of being healthy. You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
That too.
Yeah, just off of being healthy. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man, it just hurts as a Wizards fan. Thad, in our lifetime, we have not seen the Wizards win a championship in our lifetime.
No.
And we haven't had 2 stars on this team. Like 2 bona fide stars, not rising stars. I'm talking about their stars now. We haven't had that.
We haven't had that in a very long time.
You may say, oh, well, you had Gilbert and Jameson and Karan. They were borderline all-stars. Not bona fide NBA players. Not potential MVP candidates. We haven't had that. And we're getting. Anyways, man, we
it's
gotta
a curse.
move on.
I think it's a curse. I think it's the curse of this area. Yeah.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on. And there's some other news that's gonna make me angry about Washington sports coming up soon that we can definitely get into. But let's get into the NFL real quick. Aaron Rodgers showed up to camp.
My guy
showed up to camp.
Showed up in the Office t-shirt. Yo, I was done. I was like, okay, I'm cool. Yeah, let's go.
Showed up to camp. Looks like him and the team made some concessions. Look like that he's going to at least be here for another year. Did they rearrange his salary for this year, Big Thad?
No. They didn't rearrange nothing because he's not losing any money. He's not losing any money at all.
So he literally just showed up again. He
literally just showed up. Everything that he may have missed that would have lost money from, he's not going to lose. They void a year of his contract, and I think he doesn't lose that money either.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But somehow it helps the team with cap.
Yeah.
It helps their cap outlook or whatever. Yeah.
Also, they will just wait till next year to negotiate. They've both come out and said, hey, we'll wait till next offseason to negotiate for the long-term deal.
Right.
So this could be the last year.
It could be the last year. Or
in Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Could be an extension next season.
Yeah. And I think more of it has to do with a lot of moves that they made, a lot of decisions that should have been done. Like everybody would have been like, yo, we're going to re-sign this person here, re-sign this person here. You know what I'm saying? Aaron, we're gonna do your extension for the next couple of years, and all of that combined pissed them off. Like, yo, this is the dumbest. We're doing the dumb things right now, like basically the Wizards. We're doing the dumb things right now, which we should be doing better. You know? Yeah,
man. So he is in camp. He is there. He's going to play this season. He like you said, he mentioned that the reason why he was feeling the way that he was feeling is because of how he perceived how the franchise would treat players on their way out. He mentioned players like Jordy Nelson, Charles Woodson, John Kuhn, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Some other, vets that were there. He didn't really care he didn't like how management treated them on the way out. So he's just, and then also the fact that they hadn't drafted a wide receiver in the first round for him when they needed wide receiver help.
Yeah.
And then also the nail in the coffin was Jordan Love's selection in the first round last year.
Right. When nobody was going to pick him in the first round.
And because, I don't follow the Packers, we never noticed that he was never active for a game. So he was a first round draft pick that was never active.
Never active at all. At all. Not even preseason, I don't think he was active.
So now
he's just been there.
He's
been there collecting the check. And they thought maybe, this season might be it. And now he's not going to be playing unless injury. But yeah.
So now we're here. He's there. Honestly, I believe he's there because, with the new CBA, when a team finds a player for, missing training camp,
right?
There's no way that they can, void the fines. It's in the new CBA. Because before, they could just be like, all right, we ain't really about to fine you. But now I believe the fines have something to do with the league.
Yeah.
So if Aaron Rodgers had missed day one, he would have missed out. He would have been fined $50,000, meaning he was going to have to pay that. And I also believe that kind of helped him. All right, I'm gonna show up. I ain't gonna miss. I know I make a lot of money, but I ain't trying to pay $50,000 a day.
Just yeah.
Another quarterback
that's crazy.
another quarterback that showed up, Deshaun Watson. Look, who would have thought Deshaun Watson would have been able to show up to camp?
Right.
With the allegations at hand.
Yeah.
And honestly, the NFL, I believe, look, the NFL doesn't know what to do in this situation.
No, and they don't want to jump the gun either.
And I think this sounds crazy saying this, but maybe they're doing the right thing. I don't know. Like, I know he's been accused of nearly 20 plus, allegations of sexual assault or sexual misconduct. But they're all civil matters, unlike some of the other ones from previous years where they were
There have been criminal matters.
criminal matters.
Yeah.
And now there's still some trying to figure out who's, according to sources, not me, who's telling the truth, who isn't. That's up in the air. And yeah, it's funny. He shows up to camp and the topic of conversation is, what team is he going to be traded to? Instead of, is he going to play a game this year?
Right.
So yeah, man, we got to see how all of that plays out. Your Washington football team, Big Thad.
Is this why you're going to be mad or something?
No.
Okay,
They signed Jonathan Allen to an extension.
They had to.
Yep. Jonathan Allen.
You don't let a talent like that leave.
Not only that, not only is he a talent, a local kid. Like, literally lived in Ashburn before he went to college.
Wow.
So yeah, congratulations to him. He's the first. I think Daron Payne is going to be the next guy because he was the year after. The thing is going to come. You know you're keeping Chase Young.
Yeah.
It's do you keep Montez Sweat?
Because they're 24 and 25, right?
Yeah.
Is that what
Montez Sweat was the year before, but it's like, we know we're keeping Chase Young. Do you keep Montez Sweat? And if I'm Washington, I'm keeping all four of them. I don't care what you got paid.
Got to.
I would just have the highest paid defensive line. Sorry.
Right.
That's just what we going to do.
Got to keep continuity, man. And
figure it out and the linebackers and the DBs. Figure it out.
Yep. And offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get some more. We need to finally have a decent offensive line again.
I mean,
we haven't had a very strong offensive line since 80s.
I mean, well, of course, if you're comparing it to that. But I believe that those couple years you had Bill Callahan when you had Trent Williams, I believe they were okay.
I mean, yeah, because Bill Callahan knows what he's doing as a coach.
I miss Bill Callahan.
He can make anybody. He can make anybody a good offensive lineman.
Yeah,
you know,
I miss him as
he
a
could
Cowboys
literally do
fan.
that. We had Morgan Moses out there for years, bruh.
And somehow got better.
That's what I'm saying.
Because of Callahan. He was one step out the league. Remember, whose friend was he? Remember, he was a friend of somebody, and they just were like, yo, he's so big, like we could do something with him.
Yeah.
And then he lost the weight and then started playing.
Yeah. That's wild.
It's almost like The Blind Side, and like, oh yeah, my friend over here, he's living on the couch. When they see him, he's like, yo, he could be the left tackle. Other news coming out of Washington, Curtis Samuel and Matt Ioannidis are on the COVID list. They're in the COVID protocol.
How does this team? How is Washington team not even like fully vaccinated right now?
I believe the last I heard, they're only like 20 or 25% vaccinated.
They're like
players.
They're one of two teams in the NFL. It's like the lowest in the NFL. I think it's us
and the Cowboys.
No. It wasn't y'all.
Low.
It was us and the Rams.
Oh, the Rams. The Cowboys I know are low too. Because that was what Michael Irvin was like. Michael Irvin said, if you're not getting vaccinated, he's like, you don't want to win. That's literally what he said. He's like, a vaccination now is almost like preventing an injury. He's like, because if you can't play,
you're
going to mess things up. And especially with the rules that we spoke about last week.
Oh, yeah.
The penalties for unvaccinated players are definitely harder. The league has said, and we'll reiterate, the league has said if you are unvaccinated and an outbreak is caused because of you, we're going to make an example of you. If you're vaccinated, okay, we'll work around it. That's literally what they said.
Right. We will fine you and still make you pay the other team's expenses.
Oh, and by the way, your teammates will not be paid if the game is canceled.
It's ridiculous, yo. But then the thing that gets me also is
the team
Ron Rivera had cancer. He fought cancer last season, yo.
And he said it at the press conference yesterday in
I'm
Richmond.
disappointed.
He said, look, I'm immune compromised.
Right.
Y'all about to kill me.
Right.
Come on.
Like, come on, y'all.
I need to get it.
I understand we're not in Florida, but still. You know what I'm saying? Just get vaccinated, yo. Like, half of y'all, look, here we go. Half of y'all got tattoos. You got tattoos, piercings, all that stuff, and you don't want to take a shot?
Fat, I'm a one-up you. All of them are vaccinated, period, for everything else. Because that is part of the CBA.
Facts. That's right. I forgot about that.
For everything else.
I forgot about that. So y'all taking everything else but this.
No, the next CBA is going to have COVID or anything dealing with the pandemic in the writing. That's what it's going to be. That's the only reason they can't mandate it. Because they're like, man, it really isn't in our man. Oh man, I do need to get a sound effect for your Washington football team. I do need to get one. Maybe I'll do the instrumental of your terrible fight song. Yeah, I'll do something like that.
Is that even the fight song? Is that even the fight song anymore?
I mean, they can't say. You know what? I don't know. What did they do last year? Did they just play the music and that's it?
I don't know, bro. I have no idea.
Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention. Y'all scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, me either. Like we see the games and we hardly had the sound on half the time, so we don't know.
The Dallas Cowboys.
They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Dak Prescott, day to day with shoulder soreness.
Yeah.
I am not scared because, I mean, this typically happens with some quarterbacks, especially in the very beginning of training camp. Also, the Cowboys and the Steelers started training camp earlier. So the Cowboys and Steelers are already in, I think, a week and a half. And I bet you every team that came in this week to open camp, you're going to hear, the quarterback's day-to-day too with shoulder soreness because they're throwing a lot more than they were in their training. It's going to happen. Now, I understand that he's coming off of that ankle injury, but I think this doesn't have to do with the ankle, so I am okay with this. Let's now get to Major League Baseball. The trade deadline is tomorrow, Big Thad.
Okay.
And the Yankees have already acquired Joey Gallo from the Texas Rangers. And just about an hour ago, Anthony Rizzo from the Chicago Cubs. So yeah, those are some big news, big trades before the trade deadline. Also, what I said was going to get me upset. There is a proposed trade between the Washington Nationals and the Dodgers that would send Max Scherzer and Trey Turner.
What?
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy. You might as well take Strasburg too. If you're doing that, you might as well let all three go.
Man, so it looks like the Nationals are trying to go full rebuild.
Jeez.
I feel bad for Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Nothing has really come out about who the Nationals will get. Most likely, it's going to be some prospect or something.
It's obviously a prospect, unless they give, what's his name?
Mookie Betts?
No, not Mookie.
I'm being selfish now. I want Mookie Betts.
I was going to say it was going to be Bauer.
Please no.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness! Please no.
That would be the Washington curse right there, to give up all this and then get Bauer, who might not play.
Talking about Trey Turner, he was the first to be put in COVID protocol for the Nationals 2 days ago. There are now 13 members of the team/traveling team that have tested positive for COVID-19. Now, the Nationals had one of the highest vaccinated rates. They were well above the 85% when it came to the entire organization. Now, some of you all may say, well, what's the point if more than 85% of the organization has the vaccine and we have this outbreak now with the team? The point is, out of all the 13 members, not a single one of them have serious symptoms, and few have mild symptoms, meaning the rest are asymptomatic.
So all the players are vaccinated?
When this was from the beginning of the year, they said it was above 85%.
That is as the team or as the organization?
The whole organization and team.
So,
and that's why Major League Baseball gave them relaxed protocol, because they were like, okay, now if you go out on the road, we can allow you to go out. You're not confined to the hotel. You're not, your family could be around. Yes, so they have a lot
the reason why I asked that, because a lot of times when they say that the organization is 85%, they don't say how many of the players are actually vaccinated. Mm-hmm. That's why I was wondering, like,
when it was reported,
you could still get 85% and none of the players.
When it was reported, it was mentioned that a lot of the players were also vaccinated. That was one of the things that the Nationals were one of the celebrated teams for having a lot of the players be vaccinated. But yes, no serious symptoms, very few mild symptoms, most asymptomatic. Meaning, with this, also, the spread is the transmission rate is not as strong because of the amount of people vaccinated.
Is it the Delta, though? Is it the Delta?
That we don't know. Now, that is something we definitely do not know if that is the case. Let's now get to our quick hitters. Okay. There's a mass exodus, and I say mass exodus because the two teams, pretty much the entire,
they're pretty much the conference.
Yeah, the good teams of the conference.
Right.
Texas and Oklahoma made a request to the Big 12 to leave. They made their request to the SEC to join, and today unanimously the 14 schools voted to allow Texas and Oklahoma to join as early as 2025. So now it looks like Texas will be able to play their former rival, Texas A&M. They will still be able to keep the rivalry, the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Also, there's going to be potentially more money. The Big 12,
by far, big money.
The Big 12 accused ESPN of having a hand in trying to convince Texas and Oklahoma to go to the ACC. ESPN had to issue a statement and said that is flat out wrong, false. The Big 12, I don't know what it's going to be right now. I mean,
I see why they're doing it. Why they're waiting so long, because the media rights deal is up, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, why y'all waiting till then? Like, all you need is about 2 years to figure out logistics.
And unlike the University of Maryland, who was really trying to leave the ACC, Texas and Oklahoma do not want to pay that exit fee, so they're gonna try and wait it out, deal with the situation once they leave. I personally believe Texas. It's so funny. Texas is known as a team that is historically good, but then when you look at it, they really haven't won much. And when it comes to conference titles, when it comes to football, Because let's be real,
Right.
this is really football driven. This is not basketball
Oh
driven.
yeah, by far. Even when Maryland left ACC, it was football driven. It wasn't basketball driven. By all means.
I don't know how Texas is going to be in the SEC. Or Oklahoma. I believe they're going to suffer some losses that they normally wouldn't have gotten.
Oh, they're definitely going to suffer.
And they better start recruiting in a way on defense because they going to get exposed. The Big 12 is not known for defense.
No. Big 12 is known for run and gun, the air raid. You know what I'm saying? We used to have, Texas years ago was definitely, I would say Ricky Williams might have been the last running back that was like dominant Texas running back.
Yeah. I know they had Cedric Benson, but Ricky Williams was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, a whole nother
So
level.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah. And then quarterback wise, Vince Young.
Yeah.
They've had
Colt McCoy was more popular,
yeah.
but Vince Young definitely did it and won.
Like impact wise, quarterback definitely Vince Young, and they've had some very decent quarterbacks afterwards. So yeah, man, it's kind of wild seeing this whole thing happen again.
It's about to be 16 teams in that conference.
Yeah,
To me, that's
it's like,
whack.
I think the last time I've seen this was to this level like this, where you see like a conference kind of decimate, is Big East basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where once certain teams started leaving.
Yeah, when Syracuse left
to
go to the ACC.
Yep.
That's when I seen that. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Syracuse was one of the founding members of the Big East. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, you're like, oh no, what's going on? But it happened in a very short time period.
Yeah.
They weren't there another 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It was like that season they were gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy.
Oh man. I look, I'm obviously gonna start watching college sports again because now with the name, image, and likeness, I definitely feel a little more comfortable watching college sports. I do believe these schools should be paying these athletes themselves, but hey, they allowed a model for players to compensate off their name, image, and likeness. Talking about that, there's a young man out of Alabama. I'm gonna look up his name real quick, but the quarterback. Do you know who I'm talking about, Big Thad? Because I know you like Alabama.
No, actually, you threw me off because I thought you were talking about the kid in high school.
Let's get to that. Bryce Young, he has already signed upwards of $800,000 worth of name, image, and likeness deals.
Nice.
Already.
And he hasn't played.
Get paid, like Young Dolph would say.
Yeah.
Get paid, young nigga, get paid.
And especially coming out of high school, like he's the truth. But we haven't seen him yet. That's the only thing we just haven't seen him yet.
And then you mentioned, I'm gonna look that up. I gotta go through. Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Potentially a 7-figure name, image, and likeness offer.
Yeah. And
he's still in high school.
He's getting ready. He's getting ready to start his senior season. You know what I'm saying? He's literally the number 1 rated quarterback in the country right now. And he's literally trying to decide if he's gonna make money off his likeness and take off his senior season, or play his senior season and try to hold off on these sponsorships and all that, because he's already signed to Ohio State.
Me personally,
do you play your senior year?
I play. You know why? Because I do believe, I know players get hurt, but it's high school. I also believe starting that. Okay, so I didn't have issue with like guys not playing in bowl games in college because the pros was right there.
Right.
But kind of starting that in high school is kind of like,
yeah.
It just feels funny to me.
See, the thing was, it's Texas athletics that came to him and said, "Hey, we understand that you're going because of this NCAA thing, you are technically allowed to get sponsorship deals and all that. That won't affect your college eligibility.
Yep.
But since you're just in high school and you're not in the NCAA system yet, we're telling you that he cannot collect any money.
Enrolled. These NIL rules should only go into effect after your senior year.
Yeah.
It would curb a lot of these things.
Or when you removed from
Exactly. Now we have a situation, and this has probably not really been foreseen by the casual fan, that, oh snap, there are some high school players like him who now have to make a decision. Do they play? Me personally, I would play and just wait for it the next year. Because look, you are going to Ohio State. It's not like your stock is going to fall all of a sudden and then, you're not there. I think you're going there anyway. You have an agreement with these companies and just say, hey, I'm going there. So come on, let's get this done. And you play. You show the school that you're worried. You focus about winning. You get your money in the long run. And from what I've seen from the outside, he doesn't look like he's like really starving for money. So like, it seems like he's in a middle class family.
It's Texas. It's Texas.
He'll get the money the next year. Like, I think I'm
sure. Look, I'm really sure that because a lot of them in Texas, depending on what schools you're at, he literally plays the season. A couple months later, he's enrolling in
he probably is already enrolled for next year.
He's like January, season's over November, December.
Middle of January when school starts back up.
Yeah, middle of January he's enrolled at Ohio State already.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. So
put it in escrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, sign the deals, but any money that they would be getting, just hold it in escrow until.
That sounds like a good. That sounds like a good.
Well, see, that's why I always said, especially with this NIL stuff, I was like, if you're gonna pay these kids, especially in college, put the money in escrow. I always said, put the money in escrow,
and that's for clarification. Paying the entire roster. You're talking about
just in general with these kids getting money. When the whole thing, I was like, yo, you should be able to allow these kids to make money, whatever. But if you're going to pay these kids, put it in escrow. Put it in an account that they can't really touch. You know what I'm saying? They can't really touch until they're gone. In which a lot of this stuff here, the kids can't touch the money until a year after we're removed from school. Anyways, so it's basically the same thing. Put it in escrow. It's going to sit there and make money on itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep. That will end it here for our quick hitter segment. Let's get some updates with the NBA draft before we get to our chump and champ of the week.
Yeah, dude.
There've been some. Let's get to the draft and figure out who's been selected since we last spoke. We have Scotty Barnes went fourth to the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes out of Florida State. Then Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga went to the Orlando Magic.
Wow.
Josh Giddey from Australia, he went to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Jonathan Kuminga from the Congo, selected by the Golden State Warriors. Franz Wagner from Michigan, that's Mo Wagner's younger brother, to Orlando. Davion Mitchell from Baylor to the Sacramento Kings. And now at number 10 on the clock right now, the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm gonna have to refresh my screen.
Refresh.
See if anything.
They made the pick.
Oh, they didn't make the pick. Okay.
Zaire Williams.
Say it again.
Zaire Williams.
Okay, out of Stanford, right?
I think so. Well, I don't know why I thought that was the dude that played with LeBron's son. Wasn't there with LeBron and
I thought that was Zaire Wade.
Wasn't there? I thought there was another Zaire on that team also.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah.
I wanted to see if they updated that trade to see where the Wizards. I don't see it. Well, maybe. So they did say it. Okay, so it is. So hold on, Franz. Let me recap this. No, so that's that's correct. From Boston. So the Lakers pick is going to Washington, the 22nd pick, the one that we mentioned earlier. That one actually is going to Washington. It just hasn't updated the logo, but they did put a note on there. So yeah. So we'll give you some more updates as these trades occur. Let's now get to our Chump and Champ of the Week. We celebrate those who do well.
Wow, winning.
And criticize those who don't.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
It's our Champ.
Let's go, champ.
And Chump.
Now this guy's a chump.
Of the Week. Big Thad, who is your Champ of the Week?
Simone Biles.
Baby, want a champ.
Ain't nothing I gotta say about that.
Yep,
we know why.
Yep. Big Thad, my Champ of the Week goes to the women's U.S. 3-on-3 basketball team.
Baby, want a champ.
Nice.
Not only did they win, so I got to give them credit for that. But I said this months ago when you showed me what the men's team couldn't do. And I looked at the women's roster and said, oh, so they chose WNBA players.
Duh.
Those who just didn't make the senior team. Just, hey, let's put them on the 3-on-3 team. Look, I understand that qualification for the 3-on-3 did occur while the NBA season was going on. But there are other guys who are not in the NBA, who are NBA caliber players that could have competed. That's all I got to say. But I'm not going to use this segment to talk about that. We got to celebrate the women's team that actually won. Yeah. And I had the list of the roster. Jeez, so unprepared right now.
Did they have more than 3 players though?
They had 4.
Okay. That I wasn't sure. I was like, oh. At least I would hope they had at least 5,
But yeah, they had 4, and they all played. 2 of them with the Las Vegas Aces, 1 with the Chicago Sky, and I can't remember who the 4th player is. Let me see if this link will open up soon, so I can actually out the names and give them credit. They defeated. I spoke about it before you came on. Did you know who the ROC was before the Olympics?
No.
I was like, yo, who's this new country? It's like, this new country is pretty nasty. Yeah, I realized it was Russia. So it's in Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young. Shout out to them for winning Team USA 3-on-3 in the inaugural 3-on-3 competition in the Olympics. Big Thad, who's your Chump of the Week?
The New York Jets.
Because you're a chump.
Oh, what did the Jets do this time?
Yo, I don't know if they have done it yet, but Zach Wilson hasn't signed yet.
No, he has not signed yet.
How you start a quarterback, your future or whatever. He hasn't signed yet. He just hasn't signed yet. Yeah. Jets. Yeah. Starting down the wrong path.
And look, it's funny. We know that the salaries are slotted, but these teams still do try to put certain language. Yeah. Even though in the first round it's supposed to be fully guaranteed, they put certain language in it. And remember Roquan Smith a few years ago was like, nah, I need this fixed before I come. Right. And he was one of the last people. We don't know about the situation with Zach Wilson. We don't know if it's one of those, but yeah, man, things aren't looking good. Look, Just get the man in camp. You obviously drafted him number 2 overall. Give him what he wants. Get him in camp.
Right.
That's the difference between basketball and football. My chump of the week goes to Clay Travis.
Because you're a chump.
Clay Travis, and I don't follow him, but he always says something inflammatory that is, and he was talking about Simone Biles, and he tweeted this the other day: USA Gymnastics should pull Simone Biles' ability to compete as an individual going forward and elevate the next best gymnast to the all-around competition. Reward the gymnast who didn't quit on her teammates. If Biles can't go for the team, she should not go individually either. So Clay Travis is a clown. But I do want to give another champ of the week.
Baby want a champ.
I want to give a champ of the week to Susie Lee.
Baby want a champ.
Who won gold yesterday for individual all around. Suni, I apologize.
I was about to say
Lee. She won gold yesterday for individual all around. So yeah, shout out to her, first Asian American woman to win gold for the United States. Let's now get to our sports free zone. Big Thad, did you know that in the United States there was a stoning in the United States?
When? Recently?
Yes.
Wow.
I shouldn't be laughing because obviously someone died.
Wow.
There was
Recently,
a stoning in the United States. I'm going to read the article for you. Jeez, where did I have? I had the article here. Gotta look it up. Oh, man.
We really had a stoning.
Yes. So the incident happened where there was a family. Here it is. Man stoned to death at, guess the state.
Texas?
Ah, yes. Texas party after shooting 3, police say. Says
What?
Wait, what? Look, this is what exactly. It says Fort Worth Police Department released a statement confirming the suspect was chased out of the party and, quote, struck multiple times with at least one landscaping brick, end quote. On July 26, officers reported to a shooting call in the 5600 block of Shiloh Drive. Officers located multiple victims with gunshot wounds and serious injuries. 2 victims were pronounced dead at the scene, and 3 suspects were transported to area hospitals for medical treatment. Authorities said a small gathering was taking place in the backyard of a residence when, quote, one of the attendees became upset and left the gathering, end quote. The attendee returned with another person, went to the backyard, and became involved in a verbal altercation with multiple people. The attendee shot at least one person, causing non-life-threatening injury. According to the investigators, the other attendees of the party then gave chase to the shooter. The shooter turned and fired at other people. A group picked up concrete landscaping bricks and started, quote, throwing them at the shooter. At some point, the shooter was caught by the group and either fell or was taken down to the ground. The shooter continued to shoot at the group, striking at least 2 additional victims. A victim was pronounced dead at the scene, and another victim was transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot injury. The shooter was struck multiple times with at least one landscaping brick and was pronounced dead at the scene.
Oh, yeah,
A handgun believed to be one used by the shooter was recovered by crime scene personnel. Quote, homicide detectives are continuing to interview all involved attendees. The statement read, the positive identification, cause, and manner of death will be determined by the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office for the deceased. The identities of the injured will not be released at the time.
Blunt force trauma is the cause.
Yeah.
By a landscaping brick to the head. Multiple to the head.
These people brought stones to a gunfight and won.
Yeah.
We ain't never seen that.
It had to be a lot of people, bro. It had to be a lot of people, for real, for real.
I shouldn't be laughing. People.
That's wild though. Nah, but
laughing.
no. See, what threw me off was you said it was a backyard party. Then somebody got mad, left, came back with somebody and a gun. He might have had a gun on him the whole time, but who knows? But was mad enough to go back and get somebody and then come back to the party that you left mad at and got yourselves in a little hissy fit and then started shooting people. And then you ran off and they stoned you with landscaping bricks.
Yeah.
You kind of deserve that. You kind of deserve that. So you can laugh at that. I think you can laugh at that. I mean, you know my thought process. It's kind of crazy.
Look, this is something that if it was in a movie, you'd be laughing.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those.
Yeah.
Like if you were in a movie.
You brought it. You brought a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You brought a landscaping brick to a gunfight and won. Yeah. You got, especially with the situation. Yeah. You came back. That's where you went wrong. You came back. You could have just left and went on about your business, but no, you came back and started a problem.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Let's get to DaBaby.
Oh,
DaBaby
Lord.
had some very
What'd he do?
inflammatory comments over the weekend at Rolling Loud. Look,
At Rolling Loud?
yeah, in Miami. Never heard of Rolling Loud?
No, I can't remember if I have or not.
It's a huge like hip hop festival.
Oh, that's the problem right there. If it's not like, yeah,
You're terrible.
if it's not the Soca or Carnival, Miami Carnival, yeah, I don't even care.
Just a trigger warning. We are going to play the clip for those who are watching and listening to what DaBaby had to say at Rolling Loud.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone like that. Lady, if you like water, put a cell phone like that. Fellas. Lights up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking in the parking lot, put your cell phone like.
Let's be real about this.
Yeah, keep it real.
Some of y'all suspect as a motherfucker. Let's be real.
What? Wow.
Yes.
And then, of course, you had the DJ in the background.
Yes. Look, I do not
What is
condone
wrong with
any of what.
What is wrong
I
with
do not
people,
condone
dude?
any of what DaBaby said. The DJ low key with the ad lib was kind of funny, but anyways, let's get to what he actually said. He said, "Women." No, he said if you came here without an STD or HIV, put your cell phones up. We know what put your cell phones up mean now. It's literally the 21st century version of put your lighters up, which mean it's like a sign of like solidarity, a sign of celebration for whatever the person says. So if they said if you came here and you left your broke boyfriend at home,
Right.
put your lighters up. We're now cell phones.
If you got real hair.
If you got real hair, put your cell phone lights up. Man, if you got 6 figures in your bank account or your 6-figure salary, put your, stuff like that. So pretty much he's saying, if you do this great thing, put your cell phone lights up. So the great thing was, if you came to this event without an STD or HIV, put your cell phones up. Then he said, women, if you do your parts, your genitalia are like water, put your cell phone up.
We're not going to explain that.
Yeah. You may say, look, I'm going to say this is where it went sideways. Because look, it's hip hop. They're at a festival. They say wild and crazy stuff. This is where things went off the rail. When he mentioned about men in the parking lot, giving fellatio to other men, if you're not one of those men who do that, put your cell phone up. So there's an implication that if you are a man that does partake in those activities, he ain't really banging with you. So, of course, when you look at that, they're homophobic statements.
Facts.
So he is under fire now. He even had a video that dropped yesterday that dealt with fellatio and HIV in the video. I have not seen the video yet. He is under fire right now. You have other celebrities and artists who are coming out and condemning him. I believe he might have lost a small endorsement already, but, you know, he's still pumping. He's still going, still standing behind what he said. That is cancel culture real.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is. It's definitely real. We've seen it. We've seen the results of cancel culture. But my question is this in response to what's his name's video that came out?
Ooh. And see, I was going to get to that next.
Okay. So we're kind of thinking on the same page a little bit.
I don't know if it was in response, but it could have. Lil Nas X came out with a music video, I guess, last week, where Lil Nas X is gay. So his love interest and all music videos, they're going to be a man. And I guess there was a scene where something happened where there was, I guess he was affectionate with the love interest. I don't even know. Didn't even see the music video. I don't even know the song.
I've seen the weird thing is I've seen like 3 different like reaction type things, like on Instagram, and they've all been different scenes out of the music video.
I know he has a music video now where he acts. He's kind of does like Eddie Murphy, where he acts. He portrays different people within the scene.
Yeah. So he's like the judge, and then
the judge, the defendant, the juror, the the foreman of the jury. The reporter, and then I guess the video transitions to where he's in prison. Yeah. I guess because I've seen photos of that. Things like that.
And just people like, what? Wait, what am I watching here?
Look, man, it's 2021.
Yeah,
there's people within the LGBTQ community. If they identify as that, their love interest in media is gonna be someone within the community. What is the big deal? Like, what is the big deal? If you're sitting here talking about what about the children, let's be honest. Our parents weren't letting us watch music videos out in the open until when, Big Thad?
Shoot, maybe end of high school.
We had to be adults before they were like, you go just watch a music video in our house. And that was with heterosexual relationships.
Right.
Look, watch your kids. If this is such a big deal, watch your kids. But more importantly, be consistent.
Right. And Nas X already said that y'all just don't understand what Old Town Road is all about anyways. Because if you actually understood what it was, you would never let your kids listen to it.
Exactly.
But y'all like the whole horse I'm a ride, you know what I'm saying? The horse thing. And y'all didn't even realize what it was about, but y'all made it a great, like, popular song. Like,
very good song, by the way. I do like it.
It's very at first it was just a very, very catchy song, and so people just, you know how people are, they find a catchy song and they go with it, but don't realize anything else about it. So
and then Lil Boosie, I guess on Instagram, Lil Boosie, look,
Boosie's wild, son. Ever since the whole thing about his kid, and
they should have kept Lil Boosie in jail, man. Should have kept him in jail.
Don't let people hear you say that.
Should have kept that man in prison, man. He was like, if I'm ever at an award ceremony and Lil Nas X does that stuff at the award ceremony, I'm gonna choke him out. And you can't be doing this with the kids. The kids, we gotta worry about the kids. And the kids watching us.
Wasn't he the one that told that he got his son a stripper? Perfect. At like 14?
Not a stripper, like a prostitute.
A prostitute at like 13 or 14.
To have sex with him.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like, come on, dude.
Like, how he ain't arrested for doing that?
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the DJ said, that's some suspect.
Yeah. That's real suspect.
So, of course, the LGBTQ community came after Lil Boosie. They were like, yo, we think you are closeted the way you be out here always worried about what another man like. Because, you know, he's been going on Lil Nas X. He's been also going on Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it's just been going on and on and on. And come on, dog. Like, worry about your house.
Right.
Also, more importantly, man, who really cares? Like, it's 2021. We know more now.
Right.
Like, who cares?
Mind your business. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Just mind your business. If it don't affect you personally, like it doesn't stop your movements, then okay, leave it alone. You know? Mind your business.
Yeah, man. Like, come on. Like, and look, for those that are gonna sit here and use the Christianity route, the religious route, I understand. According to your religion, yes, it is a sin. Not everyone is under your religion. Not everyone is religious in this world or in this country. Like, we can't be using, you know, religion as the end all be all. If you're going to use religion as the end all be all, use it in your life, not in others. And this is coming from someone who is a Christian. Like, come on, man. This is, and you know, let these people deal with whoever they deem as their spiritual leader. Let them have to deal with that. I'm not here to govern. Yes, you know, I believe in the Bible, and the Bible has strict rules about a lot of things. And I'm living by my life as best as I could according to those things. And of course, yes, our goal as Christians is to let people know. But once we let them know, we got to let them make the choice.
Right.
And if their choice is to live the life that they want to live, we got to be cool with their choices. All right. Because ultimately their choice really ain't bothering me. But anyways, Thad, we spoke about this a couple months ago.
What?
But shower routines. Remember we spoke about shower routines during the pandemic?
What, how people were like not doing it?
Yeah, how people were like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not, you know, showering as often, and now that things are a little bit better, I continued not showering often.
Oh no, are you going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about?
What am I going to talk about?
Ashton Kutcher?
Yes, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis.
Yo!
Made a splash, according to CNN. Or rather, they don't make splashes too frequently. They said they don't bathe themselves or their children too often. Oh, man. Daily showering, especially in the United States, seem to be ingrained in many people's psyche. You might shower right after you wake up or as part of your morning routine. Or maybe you like to freshen up and bathe before bed. How often you should bathe really depends on your daily activities, according to Elaine Larson, senior scholar in residence at the New York Academy of Medicine and yada, yada, yada. I want to get to... I need to hit the link for the exact quote. Yeah, man. Ashton Kutcher, they appeared on an episode of Dax Shepard Armchair Expert Podcast, and the talk turned to bathing. They said after Shepard told co-host Monica Padman that using soap every day rids the body of natural oils, Kutcher and Kunis agreed, saying they only wash vitals every day. Padman was stunned to be in the daily full body wash minority and asked, who taught you not to wash? Said, I didn't have hot water growing up as a child, so I didn't shower much anyway, Mila Kunis said. That has apparently continued with her, Kutcher's two kids, Wyatt and Dimitri, who are 6 and 4. Then on social media, there were a lot of people who even chimed in that who these people? Just let's get a guess. Who are these people?
Who is them? Right? Is that what we're calling them? The peanut gallery? Them folks.
Let's just say it ain't Black Twitter.
It's not Black Twitter. See, Black Twitter, you know, they're special. Black Twitter is very special, and they get a little messy sometimes, but they don't get this messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is very messy.
Literally and figuratively.
Like, people literally follow your lives, and you're talking about, yeah, we don't, during the pandemic, we really didn't watch that much, but now we're kind of out of it. Yeah, we kind of like what we did. You know what I'm saying? What? What is wrong with you? What?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, there were actually a lot of people who were chiming in and said, yeah, man, it strips your body of your daily oils, yada, yada, yada. It's not healthy for you, especially if you have eczema, or any other skin conditions. Look, that's why you put oils or lotions back on.
Right.
To condition. When you wash your hair, you don't just shampoo it. You put conditioner in it too.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Not all the time.
You get what I mean, though. You put conditioner to
Yeah.
back what you stripped away from washing, because you couldn't just wash the surface. You had to wash it all. And at times, washing it all can be damaging if you just leave it alone. Same thing with your skin. Wash it with soap. Put your oils, put your lotions back on. Come on, man. What is going on here? That's why some people will smell like wet dog.
Perfect.
Like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they said they only wash when there's visible dirt outside of their vital areas. They only wash when there's visible dirt. That's ridiculous. Come on, man. So nasty, man. Anyways, that will wrap it up here for our sports free zone. Let's now take this time to talk about the NBA draft that is going on right now. We're going to recap some of those selections that have occurred already. For those that do not know, the number 1 overall pick went to the Detroit Pistons, and they selected Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. Number 2 overall went to the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green, who played on the G League Ignite team. So the Rockets got him. At number 3, Evan Mobley, center out of USC, was selected by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4, Scotty Barnes, small forward out of Florida State, was selected by the Toronto Raptors. Number 5, Jalen Suggs, point guard out of Gonzaga, was selected by the Orlando Magic. Number 6, Josh Giddey from Australia, was selected by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Kuminga, small forward from Congo, selected by the Golden State Warriors. That pick was originally the Minnesota Timberwolves. Right. Then Franz Wagner, small forward out of Michigan, was selected by the Orlando Magic. That pick was originally from the Chicago Bulls. Davion Mitchell, point guard out of Baylor, selected by the Sacramento Kings. Zaire Williams, small forward out of Stanford, was selected by the New Orleans Pelicans. That pick is actually going to the Memphis Grizzlies. James Bouknight, small forward out of UConn, was selected by the Charlotte Hornets. Joshua Primo, small shooting guard out of Alabama, selected by the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Duarte, small forward out of Oregon, was selected by the Indiana Pacers. Moses Moody, small forward out of shooting guard out of Arkansas, selected by the Golden State Warriors. And at number 15, the Washington Wizards are on the clock. We mentioned earlier that the Wizards made a trade for that involved Russell Westbrook. The Wizards are going to get Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP, and one of those picks will be tonight's 22nd overall draft pick. But Big Thad, I heard your voice. You had some shock.
Yeah. Wizards at 15 picked Corey Kispert out of Gonzaga.
Okay.
Sharpshooter.
Oh, he's a sharpshooter? Okay.
Yeah, from Gonzaga.
I told you I didn't watch a single game this year, so I know no one except Cade.
You should at least watch the national championship game.
I didn't waste my time.
Wow.
I watched the women's.
You disappoint me, man.
I didn't waste my time with.
You
any
did at
men's
least.
sports
You
last
could
year.
at least watch the championship game.
I was
at least the championship game.
I was doing my strike, and now I will be back
But
Labor Day weekend.
But you watched the women's though.
Yeah, because they need support. So either way, they need support.
What are you talking about?
They need support.
What do you mean they need support? They got better support than a WNBA.
That's a whole nother story, but that's why I watch WNBA too. You know, even though sometimes I just put it on the TV and just give them a rating.
College women's basketball is lit, bro.
It is lit, and I think
It's
that
lit.
you know we kind of spoke about that. Sometimes that's the issue. They get to the. It's kind of like how the NFL was back in the day.
Yeah.
College football was big, and then when he went to the pros, it was like okay,
Right.
like oh Newt Rockney, oh you're good, oh okay, you're
Yeah.
gonna play, all right, you know. But yeah, yeah. Anyways, though, I will be watching Labor Day weekend. I will be glued to that TV. Watching college football and seeing the quote-unquote mayhem that NIL is starting. But anyways,
Right.
the NBA draft. Back to the NBA draft. What are any sleeper picks here that you've seen so far?
Sleeper picks? No, not really. Not that I've through the names so far. No, I'm not seeing any real sleeper picks. I'm seeing good picks, solid picks, but sleepers, no. I will say that Franz Wagner is better than Mo Wagner, though.
You think he's better?
I will say. Yeah. I'll say that he's better. I think he's better now in college than he was with Mo, and he was definitely better than Mo in college so far. But he's still looking a little bit ahead of Mo in the NBA scene right now too. Granted, Mo played for the Wizards, so really get no help with that. So
when Mo Wagner was at Michigan and he played in that championship game, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like this dude.
Yeah.
And then the Lakers drafted him. It's funny. I wanted Mo Wagner.
Right.
And then the Lakers got him, and then a year later we got him. So I'm like, oh snap! Like,
yeah. He was crazy in college. And I'm saying like his brother at Michigan also is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And because it was him and our DeMatha boy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was pretty lit. That's why Michigan was in the top 5 in the country for the longest time.
Yeah.
But you weren't watching college anyway.
No, I wasn't watching. I mean, I was just kind of. I look at the box score as I would.
Oh, your man's is at the NBA top 100 right now.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about. Your man's.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Quinn.
Top 100 of what?
There's some top 100 thing was there today.
How can you be top 100? You weren't in the league.
I don't know. He was there. him and homeboy, one of the other Duke coaches. Well, one of the Duke coaches, and them two were there.
Hold on. When you say top 100,
It's
top 100,
some top 100 thing that they had this week.
like he went to go see players?
It's it's like some college thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a ranking, like top 100
No,
players.
no,
Like,
no,
what? How you be top 100? You weren't in the league.
Wow, you were so disrespectful.
Say he wasn't even in the club, like Chris Brown said. Wasn't even in the club. Like I said, I didn't really watch any of this college basketball. I do obviously know about Jalen Suggs. I knew about him for a while before he got to Gonzaga. But yeah, man, he's
Yeah, he was, because Jalen Suggs went pretty high.
Yeah.
Did what's his name go to Detroit or no? I didn't look.
Cade Cunningham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because up until today they weren't sure what Detroit was really gonna do, and then I know some people were trying to trade, and Detroit wasn't sure what they wanted, if they were gonna give up what they were going to really give up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but some people are saying that Cade wasn't even the best in this draft. So I'm like, I don't know.
I can't comment, but from what I saw him do in high school, and then the few highlights I saw,
Right.
I'm like, this dude is pretty nasty.
He looks good. He looks good.
There is some breaking news. Do you remember Hector Santiago?
Why does that name sound familiar to me?
He was the first and only pitcher to be suspended because of the grip enhancer. Remember he was using the banned foreign substance?
Yeah.
Well, he's now been banned for 80 games, suspended for 80 games for a positive test for external testosterone. Yeah, man, not looking good.
Come on, bro.
Not looking good. I know he tried to say he didn't do the foreign substance, but
now they give you for external joint.
This ain't looking
I've never even heard them call that.
Yeah, what is external
testosterone?
Let's Google.
I mean that's I'm sure he took like
like a
testosterone enhancing. Yeah, but still, I've never heard it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I swear, I just got a text message, and I swear people don't read.
I was about to ask you.
They don't read.
I was about to ask you because it's Leo season. She already acting. She gonna act a fool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
We're talking about Cousin Chrissy, y'all. Cousin Chrissy, look. I'm gonna tell you right now, Cousin Chrissy, because it's Leo season, she has a habit of doing things that eventually piss you off.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
because it's Leo season. You know what I'm saying? So like, she'll put up Instagram stories, and next you know it's a lion roaring or something, and it'll be like you'll be randomly. It'll be one thing, and then next you know it'll be another picture, and then next you know it's that Ryan roaring again. You know what I'm saying? And everything with Leos, like anything with lions for Leo season is ridiculous for her. Like she will literally make like 10 extra stories just because it's Leo season, just to throw in something. So yeah, she wants to get on the stream.
Yeah, for the NBA for the fantasy football draft lottery.
Are we having a stream for that?
Yeah. You see, you were sleeping. You were sleeping.
Okay. My bad.
You were sleeping.
Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? I took a nap. You know what I'm saying? I took a nap. It's like, be honest with you, I thought today was Friday for some reason. Then I realized I still had an extra day of the week, but I'm not working tomorrow, so. I took a nap. You know what I'm saying? Like, who takes a nap in the day anymore? You wake up and you feel great and refreshed for a couple hours until you go back to bed. It's a great feeling when you just take a nap.
It is a great feeling. I forgot which president said he took naps every day. And then there was.
But do presidents really do things during the day?
I mean,
besides phone calls and pictures and. Do they really do a lot during the day though?
I mean, so they say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why they wear suits all the time. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, they should be able to just get out of bed, get a coffee, walk down to their office, because you are in their house. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just go down, be in your pajamas, and if you have some early documents you have to sign, just go ahead and sign it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I going to go through... Then I could go back to my bed for like an hour or so. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's something real emergency-wise, And then, okay, maybe jump in the shower, take a good shower, put on a suit because I have a meeting with whoever and whoever. You know what I'm saying? But they seem to wear suits all the time, bruh. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, there should be times where you could just be in your office with a pair of sweats and a hoodie and be good. That'd be my president. Don't care who it is. Just have a hoodie and sweats on in the office.
Yeah, man. So, Other breaking news, or let me see, not really breaking news. The last selection was, and I have it up here. It was, you already told me that. That was the Wizards selection. Corey.
Oh, so you behind?
I just got the notification on my phone from ESPN. Let me actually refresh it on my laptop.
Come on, bro. You gotta get the notifications.
Oklahoma
from
Thunder
Shams.
on the clock. They're on the clock.
You gotta get the notifications from Shams.
Shams. He is
and,
the worst. Like, dog, I want to watch the draft and actually like enjoy the draft. Like, come on, man.
Right.
This dude will always be telling picks like 3 picks in advance. Especially when we knew this one. They had actually announced it earlier. But what was it? It was the WNBA and the NFL draft. He was chiming in on the NFL draft, but the WNBA, this year's draft was highly anticipated. People wanted to see it. People didn't know who was going to go number 1 overall pick. The clock literally starts. He's like, oh yeah, they got the sources tell me it's about to be this. And he just kept on doing it all night. I was annoyed.
I feel you.
Yep. Yep. Well, that'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
For our ready, or wrap it up here for the show. Actually,
did you do the video?
What
or
video?
You didn't do it this time?
What video?
The video you sent me.
Oh yeah, I did. You missed it.
Oh, you did do it? No, I was about to ask you. That's what I just wanted to know. Oh well, no. I mean, when you sent it to me, I was like, "Yo, that's dope." So I wasn't sure if you used it as a thing or not. Good. Glad to hear it.
Worked out well.
Good.
Worked out well. Big Thad. I want to thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you for having me. Especially after my nap.
No problem. I mean, it was going well, actually.
It was.
Part of the reason why we're running late is because I was ranting.
It was going very well. Like I even kind of listened to it a little bit, and I'm like, should I text him? He probably doesn't see me, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just chill here anyways because I'm about to text him. Because you were in the middle of your Simone Biles, and I was like, no, just let him go. And then you sent me the text. I was like, oh, I guess he did see me.
No problem, man. Big Thad, I want to thank you for everything you do.
No problem, cousin.
Shout out to OSS 980, Other Side of Sports, with Harold, D, and Aaron. Shout out to Soggy Nachos, Shut Your Face. A big congratulations to Curls and Sports, Erica Fernandez. She had her child last week, gave birth last week. Everything is going well. Last I spoke to her. So shout out to her on this great milestone in life. Shout out to my man MJ Fadeaway. I spoke to him earlier today. I tried to go get a haircut. Things didn't work out, but I was able to get in contact with him. Yeah, man. Shout out to him. You mentioned it's Leo season, so I guess, shout out to the Leos, I guess. I wouldn't have known it's Leo season. I don't know these. I don't know these these astrology
seasons.
Yeah, I know mine because people say I'm a Scorpio.
Right. We know ours,
and that's about it. I don't really know,
and we're so close with each other. We're right there. It's but we won't talk about that because you know how them Leos, they get a little wild, and then why don't you give us our shine? So yeah.
Big Thad, thank you once again for everything that you do.
No doubt.
Until next time, everyone. Sports Reality. Peace.